Yo, what is going on, beautiful people? This your boy again, Mo Money with the Mo Money podcast, back at it again with the banger. And I have my boy over here.
Hey man, y'all know who it is. LA man, the co-host that be doing the most.
I know that's right. And the special guest tonight.
SteZo, the fly Negro.
Hey. Hey, that's what's up. So I just want to start off with, remember I started with 30 push-ups, then I bump it up to 60,
Yeah.
and then I did 200.
Man,
Hey, guess what? Since past couple of days, I'm doing 250 a day.
boy. Hey man.
Impressive.
What's your motivation, bro?
Yo,
What's your
no, this is what I want to say. 250 push-ups a day, bro. Because for some people, it's hard. For some people, it's even impossible to do 250 push-ups. That's why I want to do it. I'm like, nah, because it seems impossible to you, it's very achievable to me.
Yeah.
So that's why I
Man.
did it, man. 250, we locked in.
Yeah. Hey, let's go. Yeah. Hey man. Congrats to you, bro. It's good that you're doing something healthy for yourself, man. You putting in work daily on that. And you started, you set a low goal for yourself, but each week, each day, you know what I'm saying, you continue to grow and push for the next level, the next level, the next level. And I think it's inspiring that you're not just doing it to hit a goal, but you're trying to do a healthy habit. So you're trying to develop yourself, be disciplined. You're not just doing this for fame or show out on Instagram and things like that. You actually doing that, you know what I'm saying, for yourself to, you know what I'm saying, mentally and physically build yourself up. So yeah, that's good, bro. Keep
It,
that up, man.
hey, man, it definitely did it for the discipline. I just wanted to start it as a positive habit.
Yeah,
It just landed me over here. And I think I can push it furthermore. The journey not going to end over here.
yeah. Nah, for real. Hey, yeah. You ain't gotta let nothing stop you, bro.
Yeah.
Just keep pushing, man.
I'ma never stop, bro. Like as I say, I'ma never stop because it seems impossible for some people to hit that 250. I just want to do it to tell them it's very achievable to me.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah,
It's
we gonna get
possible.
it, bro. We gonna
It's
get it.
it's possible.
And then yeah, I'm gonna enough with this sweet talk. Get your ass up and get some money. Get your ass up and go work out at the gym. I'm not having it. We gonna cut sugar. We gonna cut excuses this year.
Oh,
That's it.
so you talking to him like that?
It's enough, bro. Like you keep telling them, oh nah, it's good. Let's do it tomorrow. Oh no, write your goals down. Nah, don't worry
Yeah,
about it. Go out, do something.
yeah. Bro said I ain't playing with y'all no more.
I'm not playing, bro. You talk about, people talk about money. Oh, I don't have money. Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna give you something, right? Look around in your neighborhood, wherever you're living. You see a dirty car. That maybe your neighbor. You know your neighbor. Go talk to him. This is what you do. You tell them, hey, introduce yourself, or you already know him. Hey, I see your car is fucking dirty. What I can do, I can drive your car to a car wash and then bring it back. Just pay me $20.
Yeah,
Guess what? If they say yes,
my bad, bro.
so guess what? If they say yes, take the freaking car. Go get to a car wash. I know it's $10 for the basic car wash, and most of a car wash comes with free vacuum.
Yeah,
You take the car, get a vacuum, get it washed, bring it right back. They'll pay you $20. You just made $10.
that's crazy.
You repeat that shit 10 times every day. Imagine how much money you get. You get $100 a day. You do that 30 times.
Yeah,
You got 3 bands, bro. You got
yeah,
3 freaking bands.
yeah,
Doing nothing. Taking the freaking car to a wash, paying $10. Vacuum is free. Bring it right back, charging them $20.
yeah, yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And then who's to say you just do 10 one day? You might do 20. You just never know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not bad, bro. It's all about providing a service, like you said. You just have to find the problem that, each individual can solve. You might be a good car detailer, or you might be a good window washer. You might be a good cook, whatever you do. Just push yourself and promote that, do that, provide service to people. And just stay encouraged, keep being consistent at it. That's the thing. Stick with it and keep going. And don't limit yourself. A lot of times I think it's just people don't have confidence, or they're afraid of the no's. No, 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 no. They're gonna tell me no. They're gonna tell me no. Well, you keep going anyway. Somebody gonna tell you yes. You keep doing what you know you good at, man. Somebody gonna see it and they gonna want to support you, and they gonna shop with you and do. They gonna support you for real, for
Right.
real.
So that's what I'm saying. No more sweet talk. Let's get it. It's time for action.
Bro said we ain't sweetening nothing up. You getting it straight, raw, uncut. He said I'm tired of sugarcoating stuff.
Not for real, man. You
Yeah.
can't. Yeah, you can't work like that. I need, like, to me too. I need sometimes, not sometimes, but maybe all the times. I know truth hurts, but I need it
Mm-hmm.
right straight to the face.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nah, yeah, that's for sure, for sure. Because I mean, at the end of the day, people need to know what's real. People need the real. You can't hide stuff from people. If they don't get it from you, they're gonna get it from somewhere else. And you don't want to be that person that was like, oh snap, where they come back to you and be like, hey, why you ain't tell me? You know, like why you ain't tell me? You could have told me. You know what I'm saying? I went this way, and I could have went this way, and it would have taken me a shorter time. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people need. Some people just need to know it's another way. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people just need to know it's another way. But once you get the information, though, people need to use it. That's the other thing. It's one thing to know it; it's another thing to use it. So if you know how to make some money, if you know how to work out, you know how to exercise, you know how to have better relationships, you know something that will make somebody else's life better or your life better. It's good to know it, but you need to use it. Yeah, Planet Fitness is over there. When you gonna go to Planet Fitness? When you gonna buy the membership? When you gonna get in the gym? That's crazy. Okay, you know how to work a camera. When you gonna start taking pictures? When you gonna start doing videos? When you gonna start promoting yourself? When you gonna start posting your pictures? Post pictures. Take pictures at people's graduations and weddings and things like that. Do the work. It's good you know how to do it, but don't stop there. Start put action behind your words. That's how you get things done. That's how you see results.
Yeah, and keep on doing it. Don't stop till you achieve it. And that's what I would say. Don't freaking stop. Yes, go ahead and tweak it if something's not working, but
Mm-hmm.
stay true to your dreams. And
Mm-hmm.
you need to have crazy dreams. That's what I'm saying. You need to have crazy freaking dreams. Like when people hear it, they were like, that sounds crazy. That's why you want to achieve it, because it sounds crazy, meaning there's very less competition in it for you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. There's one less person you got to worry about. If it sounds crazy to them, but it sounds normal to you, you just need to show people that it can be done.
My ambitions, bro, my goals, my ambitions sometimes get crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's why I want to do it, because it has less competition in it for me. And I know I can achieve it because other people think it's impossible.
So it's a fire for you that you know what I'm saying, what people feel is impossible, what they feel like they can't do. You feel like, you know, I'm inspired by that, and I'm gonna use that motivation to push myself to get it done.
Right.
Yeah, that's fire.
This is how I think, man. And the thing is, like, I want to do that. I want to get the grinding. I want to get the hustle, and I want to do everything to leave
Mm-hmm.
no excuse. Let's say it's, even if first of all, I'm not gonna let it happen. But if I do fall,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the person who gonna raise the hand at the end of time. Say like, I hustle hard. I bust my ass. I lost sleep on it. Where's my reward?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna do it, you better have a damn good reason to raise your hand in front of whatever you like. You believe in, where's God?
Yeah.
And I know I'm gonna have a damn good reason.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, you can't be mad if you don't see the results, if you ain't do the work. Yeah, you can't be mad at the next person if they got it. and they did the work and you didn't get it, but you didn't do it. If you do the work, you gonna get what you supposed to get. You know what I'm saying? If you do things that make you a millionaire, you're gonna become a millionaire. But if you keep doing broke people stuff, hello,
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you gonna stay broke, fam. Like that's what it is. Yeah, millionaires do what millionaires do. Broke people gonna do what broke people do. So guess what? You're gonna stay broke. What you do is what you get. What you put in is what you get out. You know what I'm saying? If you do nothing, you get nothing. But you do something, you're gonna get something. Straight up. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? All these people, it kind of bothers me, bro, when people be hating on, what I'm saying, millionaires and billionaires. I ain't got to mention their names, bro, but we know who they are. It's like, you can't hate on them when they done spent all these long days and long nights doing the hard work to get where they supposed to be. They did their job. Don't hate on them because you didn't do it. You need to do what you can do so you can be where you want to be. I feel like it comes from a place of unhappiness and bitterness and jealousy. It's like you can't be mad at people, bro, for chasing their dreams. If you ain't chase yours, that's on you. It's your fault. You ain't promote yourself. You didn't push yourself to do better, to achieve better, to get a better lifestyle that you wanted. You know what I'm saying? If you don't ever go to that car dealership to get that car, it's your fault. If you don't get the money, it's your fault. If you ain't get the job, it's your fault. It's your fault. If you don't get the house you want, it's your fault. If you don't get that girl, it's your fault. Ladies, if you don't get that man, it's your fault. It's your fault. You ain't do it. Y'all got to put the work in. Stop getting mad at other people who get what you want because they did the work. That's weird to me. That's weird energy. I don't get it.
Not for real, man. And I'm loving the grind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just smiling and laughing at it. When I get tired and I can't, like, even with push-ups, do when I was doing my last push-up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, I stopped for a minute, like, pause for a minute, man. I got just 10 more left. I gotta bust it out, but my arm just want to give up.
Yeah.
And I do it in front of a mirror, like, I can see myself. I
Yeah.
just look myself. I started smiling. It wasn't no
Yeah.
evil smile. It was like, that's
I
it.
did it. I got it done. I did it.
Yeah, I'm just like, couple left. Got to do it. Only 10 left. I'm like my arms are hurting and I'm smiling at myself, looking at the mirror.
Yeah. Like you did it, bro.
Yeah,
You did it.
I busted out.
Yeah. Nah, that's lit, bro. Man, say that's fire, bro. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how I feel, man. When I be in the studio writing my songs and stuff like that, recording my music and stuff like that, bro. It's like, okay, I done made this fire song. I gotta make another one, and I gotta make another one. I'm just keep pushing myself, keep making hit songs, bro. At the end of the day, I know if I keep making music that I like, somebody gonna support it, somebody gonna like it, somebody gonna stand behind it. But as long as I know, at the end of the day, I'm using my gift every day. I'm putting in work. I'm writing in my journal, coming up with new songs. You know what I'm saying? Searching for beats on YouTube. I'm reinventing myself, trying to get creative. As long as you stay at it, stay consistent, bro, something gonna happen for you. You gonna get something out of it. Just keep doing the work. Stay consistent. Stay faithful to what you know and what you do. If you don't support yourself, ain't nobody else gonna get behind you. If you don't believe in yourself, ain't nobody else gonna believe in you, man. It start with you. That's where it start. It start with you, and then once you start the train, hey man, that train gonna keep growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The following gonna keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, man. But it start with you. Yeah, just keep putting that work in. That's all I can
nah,
say, man.
not for real. I
Don't
thought
worry
we
about
we
like you
lost
said.
SteZo, but he came back.
That
Back in
man
the mix.
back.
I'm
That
resilient. Yes,
man
sir.
back. Yes, sir.
All
Yeah.
right. So what I actually want to I want to thank you for hopping on our podcast. I want to ask you if you
Thank you
like
for
to
having
share.
me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. If you wanted to share your knowledge or wisdom of, how people just rely on one stream of income and then they're not prepared for rainy day, but it's gonna come. Anything can go wrong in this world.
Well, yeah, life happens. I mean, at any given time, it could be a demographic situation for some. It could be a family emergency, or it could just be office politics. You definitely don't want to let anyone know that they're the only bus riding. I can't catch another ride because
Mm.
once they feel like that, they handle you different.
Mm.
You'll start noticing they're a little less accommodating, a little more aggressive, imposing overtime, imposing holiday work schedules, things of this nature. And I mean, there are other various ways that they push their weight when they know that you only eating off of their plate. So they'll bird feed you, and really sad to say, if you like it like that, it'll force you because life will happen. A situation will come up. Let's say like today, found I had a screw in my tire, and my
Dang.
tires are
Man.
$286.74.
For one little bitty screw.
Well, the tire was already going, because I had already bought three. So the blessing was when I got there, dude looked at it, he was like, well, man, this your fourth one. You getting the set, we're going to give you a discount. So that took that 286 to 160. And then I had some Sam's points that took another $28 off of that. So God is good. You dig what I'm saying? But back to my original point, stuff will happen like that. You will need, especially if you have children, family, loved ones, what have you, anyone in your circle that you love, take care of, look out for,
Yeah.
things will happen out of,
Yeah.
randomly. Life happens. Everything that happen in life don't make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
But you definitely have to deal with it. So with that in mind, if I was just waiting for that next check, man, I'd be stuck right about now.
Yeah,
Right.
buddy.
But
Yeah.
just today, I doing my little landscaping on the side. That was a little donation to the Cash App to the Keep Me From Being Broke Foundation.
There you go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I mean, you always got to keep a wheel turning because you'll never know. And then when that job know that because for me, I tried to get a little more discipline, especially when I was working 4 on and 3 off. I would dedicate a day to coming in and making that overtime, just getting it. And there was a hiccup with the pay, and I'd already worked the hours, and I had to wait till the next check to get paid.
Right.
And then Uncle Sam bit me even harder because I don't have children. So I was like, yeah, y'all couldn't just cut me a check and make that right. I did, you got to work. And
Yeah.
just, that's verified. I mean, that's how you really feel. You sure right. Don't even worry about it. And that motivated me to not get comfortable and
Mm-hmm.
always keep a wheel turning because you don't ever want them to think you just eating off their plate. Baby, I get it. I've been getting it before I got here. And
Yeah.
guess what? I was looking for it when I got here. I was
Mm.
already, my wheel was already turning. So yeah, I keep some in, just in case,
Mm-hmm.
because you can relax, you can lay back, you can get comfortable. It's very easy to, but especially in these times we live in now, say, man, hey, man, I got several irons in the fire just in case
Yeah.
something like this tire situation don't throw me all the way, for a loop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, that's for real. Cause some people so living check to check, what's called paycheck to paycheck now these days, that if
Exactly.
it stopped for just 1 month, that's over for them.
Out of there.
Ooh.
There's no concept of saving either. Like, we are over here entrepreneurs on the side.
Mm-hmm.
We always doing something. I'm always grinding. I'm always doing something. Yeah, we don't stop. I look my
No, no.
future. Yeah, I look my future. I'm like seeing my children. I'm seeing my grandkids, and I like, what I'm saying. I'm seeing my wife, like the supportive wife, right next to me. I was like, nah, I gotta get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't have no kids. I'm just letting you know. But yeah, I'm gonna build my castle.
Or wear a hole in the rock, you just got to keep dropping it.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I
Built.
said, they'll handle you different when they know you don't need them like they think you
Mm-hmm.
do. They'll handle you
Mm-hmm.
a little different.
Yeah, yeah. Now for real, build your castle. Even if it take brick by brick, start today, right now.
Yeah.
I'm holding walls right now with my bare hands. I don't want no distraction.
Right.
No, for real. That's a fact. That's a fact. You don't want nothing to slow you down, man. You just gotta stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready.
There it is.
Yeah. You don't want to do that.
And believe it or not, the more you do that, other folks that see your grind, see your hustle, well, hey man, take a look at this. I think you might be good at this. Or hey, you ever thought of this? Folks that know you got something about you like that and see you ain't gonna let nothing stop you,
Hmm.
they'll turn you on. So I mean, it's all kind of blessings along that path that people are if they see you going for it, they'll look out.
Yeah. Straight up.
Most definitely. What about outside work? And any advice that you might have, or you might have seen life, hit other people differently. Maybe you have experience. If you would like to share something.
As far as outside work, make sure you keep it business. If you don't hear nothing else I say, make sure you keep it business. Cause I mean, you'll no doubt you'll start out with good intentions, but you also learn as you go. You don't have the direct blueprint. You actually creating it as you go. So there's going to be some trial and error within that time period. And there are some people that's going to know, he don't know. Well, depending on who you're dealing with, they will take
Hmm.
advantage of the situation. So you just, even with family, and it's sad to say, but it's the truth, keep receipts. A
Hmm.
text is a legal document, it's a receipt. If I paid you and then you, not only do I just say that in the text, I need you to confirm, yes, you received the payment. Okay, boom, bam, we right there, screenshot.
Yeah.
Because to keep us from having what? Bad business. And that's going to destroy our friendship. First, we got to keep the business part in a certain aspect, in a certain lane, to where it doesn't deviate from the original process. And that's what you want to do, a service for a service. And you want to complement that service so that person that you do business with will spread the word of mouth. Hey, man, yeah, he did me a good solid deal, and he looked out for me. So yeah, that'll add to your entrepreneurial mind state. And like I said, people look out, but if you get off on the wrong foot and you don't handle it in a business fashion, it can easily go in another direction.
Right.
Hmm.
Man, I like that. I like what he just give us a golden nugget over here. Is like keep the receipts.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do. We slip with when it comes to family, friends. We don't keep no receipts. It's
Hmm.
just
Oh,
on in
man, I'm
our
not
mind.
tripping on that. I'm not worried about that. That little bit don't make me. No, it doesn't. But that creates an avenue that you lose, and you're not really taking into consideration. Folks will forget. Life happens. Folks got a lot of stuff going on. They may not remember. Then you call them on it. Well, now they embarrassed. Forget the business part. Now it's personal. So they may not admit it because you in front of somebody, or maybe they just don't want to admit it. Well, maybe I did forget that. Or let me look. And that's why, like, I also do essentials on the side, like washing liquid, tissue, this and that. And like I said, a lot of people will get, with me, and I would tell them, make sure you send me the text of what you want and the payment, and I'll get that going. A lot of them, well, just give me this. Because, see, I deal with so many people. How I'm going to know it's your order? Send
Hmm.
me a text. That way I
Hmm.
can't get that wrong. And then what? That's a legal receipt. That's what you wanted. So I don't even have, well, no, I didn't. Here it is right here. This your name, your number, right? That's what you said right here on this. That way
Yeah.
your business don't get sideways.
Hmm.
Because sometime life will happen to them. Maybe they had baby had doctor's appointment, the money that they had intended for this. Well, maybe that's not, and that don't mean everybody like that, but sometimes situations happen to put people in a pickle, you know, and
Hmm.
they, who you think they gonna feed first, you or their child. So I mean, sometimes it'll put people in a position that they really wouldn't do it, but okay, I'm in a situation I got to at this point. So, when you keep it business, because I would do like spend my money to go get it and then waiting to connect with them, and then that's making me upset when
Hmm.
if I'd have just waited to got the payment. got the text to confirm. That saves a level of frustrated that's unnecessary. So you just make the
Mm-hmm.
necessary adjustments as you go along.
Real talk.
And you get tired of feeling like that. Believe that, especially as a business person, because I'm not wanting to deal like this with every person I'm involved with. Okay, well, I tell you what, this is how we're going to throw a little water on that fire.
Right. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From now on, and especially, like I said, documents so much as like Facebook is what? Admissible in a court of law. Instagram, all these websites, admissible in a court of law. Text, they are receipts. So that way we don't ever get it twisted. It ain't nothing, that I don't trust you. I'm showing you that I'm solidified with my business and how I handle things. And that
Mm-hmm.
with the way you see me handle it will make you want, okay, well, you know what? Bro, solid with it. If we doing a barbecue or something, y'all give me the money. I'm not just finna run out and go get this, man. I'm gonna bring you the receipt. Hey, y'all gave me 300. It was actually about 275. Here your change. Hey, here the receipt.
Mm-hmm.
If need be, I'll take a screenshot or a pic. I mean, you just, man, hey, that's with family reunions. That's with anything, bro. You just
Yeah.
keep it business, and that leaves no room for a
Mm-hmm.
misunderstanding, cause it's right there, and that don't lie.
Man, I can just tell SteZo about that business.
Yeah.
Ain't tripping.
You you learn after you get burned.
Not for real.
And
Man.
of course you're not tripping on it because you're actually trying to provide a service for people to know that, hey man, he's okay on this end. Yeah, I can look to him. But then you got some, like you said, that, they really want to see where you at or how much you know. You don't know what folk be on sometimes. So you just put yourself in a position to limit any sideways action and let that
Mm-hmm.
person that you're dealing with know, yeah, I'm solid with mine. So if we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
deal, this how we're gonna deal, and that man, that they'll respect you. And if they can't respect you, then they not trying to do business; they trying to give you the business.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So ever you had it happen that when you had to take a person to court?
Nah,
Okay. Never get to that point.
nah, cause right then, right there, I can them screenshots say them pictures and screen man say this is
Man.
undeniable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said that wasn't you. Okay, this is your phone number. This is okay. What are we talking about here?
I can't believe people still pull off like this ain't me.
Yeah. You got some that'll try, but I mean, when you corner them like that, and you got some that say, "Well, man, really, I was just in a situation." But, bro, if you or ma'am, if you was in a situation like that, I could have worked with you. Just let me know. Don't just, make the decision for me, and then I'm gonna react how I'm gonna react because I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
you trying to play me. So
Right.
we can get on a better understanding if you give me something to understand, not ambiguity, not, you stepping on this foot and then you hokey pokey on the left. Nah, I played football. I know about the 42 fake out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
like I said, little stuff like that, and like I said, you learn as you go. The more you do, and like I said, I have my hands in several avenues of business, uh, especially when you're trying to find a way. If you once ever in street culture or street pharmaceutical, and you value your freedom, and you don't want to see everybody around you getting locked up or getting shot or this or that, and you want to make the same money but not take the same risk. You want to
Mm-hmm.
live smarter, right?
That's that's
Longevity.
that's actually interesting you brought that up. I do actually want to ask you about that. For all the youngins out here. They don't when they go out in the street and they start doing shit they're not supposed to. But they don't realize how many people are connected to them. Their own family, their girlfriend, wife, or whatever, their mom, dad, sisters, and then they end up getting locked up. You know how many people getting affected by all of that? What if he's the only one that bring bread in the house and now he's not
That's
there no more,
devastating
right?
and
Now his
unfortunate.
his family have to struggle. So what do you have to say about something, like that? Like don't do it.
Well, I actually have my own family. I had a cousin like that, and he's right now he's doing time like he has letters. not numbered.
Yeah.
And this happened when my godchildren were 7 and 4 years old. Got locked up. He used to hustle, and then he, formaldehyde took the better part of his understanding, and he went on a spree, and it got real ugly, actually.
Hmm.
So you think at his, young age of 27, so much was happening, like, you know, with him, like he was on a crossroad, or like he was trying to leave that life, because that at that point I went on the road driving, because I had left street life, and trying to find other different hustles to find ways to make, so
Hmm.
finally I got with trucking. So well, yeah, man, I'm gonna find something too. So I mean, he had the mindset, and definitely had the personality, the wherewithal, the charisma. But when our cousin, it was actually he sent her to the store to get some ranch dressing. Some dude after and robbed her, took her car and made her ride while they were, robbing other people and doing other things. Long story short, by the grace of God, they released her. They did another girl like that, and they killed her.
That's
And
devastating.
I know that made him feel a certain way, that he couldn't save her in that moment, man. When I tell you, Kim Folk was up that stove, like, can't nobody come in here until you could tell me who did that to my cousin. And I'm on the road hearing this, and this is just jacking me up that I can't beat her. But I mean, it's a reality. So they wind up catching the dudes that did it, right? He still wanted to crash out, like, he wanted something back. So you got to figure, with the precious life, he got kids. This happened is messing with him out, so he ain't doing them and getting hired. And I'm hearing little stuff going on in the neighborhood. Somebody got they was cool, hung out together, and now it's all over the news. So it got to a point where he hit up pop, and we actually got into it, you know. And that's when I knew it wasn't him no more. That's when I knew, because anytime you see the dude, he always stayed clean, fresh. He could be broke.
Yeah.
He starts down, fresh cut.
Yeah.
And it was another person when I looked in his eyes, and we ain't never got to the point where we're like, I'll hit you in the face. It got to that point. I'm like,
Yeah.
after that, when I got back on the road, well, I think that was before I left. I got word that got him anywhere from 17 to 35 times with AK-47, and I cannot tell you how that devastated my nieces, my nephews. Like I said, 7 and 4
Hmm.
at the time. They done been, with their daddy, man. It's, Sunday fun day. They go to Keys Park, ride the bikes. He done bought their little four wheeler.
Right.
Yeah,
Wasn't a
man.
bad dude, man. Was not a bad dude. And to this day, that's still my blood. I know how far it go.
Yeah.
Sad to
Yeah.
say, because he was actually looking to do, you know, we had got sideways, like, and I knew it wasn't nothing but to make him even go that far, but he was very serious. And we make up, like, man, I was tripping, bro. Man, I would never do nothing like that. It was like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. One minute we cool, and then, yeah, I'm on that.
Hmm.
And you like, kinfolk, man, that stuff done went to your head. No, I'm doing it. It's not doing me.
Hmm.
And you wanted to believe him, because for the long he was, he was bagging that up. But at
Yeah.
a certain point, and after that happened with her, it seemed like every day. Then the next thing I know, when I'm on the road, I'm hearing he trying to be a proprietor and not just a consumer
Hmm.
of formaldehyde.
Hmm.
That's the first rule in the street code. You don't get out of your own supply. Like,
Hmm.
and when they were telling me he would, go to different extremes, folks get mad. It was, it was almost unheard of, but it was very real.
Yeah.
It was very real. And like I said, you'll never know how that, you know, the deepest thing that touched my soul about this situation with, trying to explain it, and I'm speaking on his behalf, even though he wanted to do me something. Like, he this wasn't who he was, man. He raised beautiful kids, he was good to his woman,
Yeah.
of course they wasn't trying to hear that, but with us going through that, my niece asking me, Uncle Steve, if I get a job and get some money, can I get my dad out of jail?
Mm,
To look at a 4-year-old, man,
That's a
yeah.
heartbreak. Yeah.
Yeah.
and not to be able to tell her, yeah, baby, we can get is beyond our control.
Yeah. Man.
That 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 make you see things a little different in life.
Hmm.
And especially for them, I mean, I was with them as much as I possibly could be, helping their mom out before she passed, rest her soul.
Man.
I took my nephew out on the road with me when I was over the road.
Yeah.
You know, put them on my insurance, all that. To, make sure, because
Yeah.
we
That was your
cousins by
home.
blood, but say that's my niece and my nephew because he made me the godfather of all of them.
Hmm.
And he got 4 kids that I know of. So when I said that, I meant that. And right now they grown and got kids. So thank God for that. They turned out all right, but you'll
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
At 7 and 4, bruh,
Yeah.
that's some deep water to be in, and still come out,
Sure.
all right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's just two extreme decisions, someone makes in life, and then look how many people get affected.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, he was doing his best to try to get work, and then with him having you know is this and that, and he like, see, I'm trying to do it right, but look what's happening. So I just got to go back to what I know, and that was the conflict and the duality.
Yeah.
You still talk to your
But he's a
nephews and
good dude.
niece?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. We still stay in touch.
Yeah, man. That just kind of your nephew and niece story kind of reminds me of me and my little sister. Me and my sister, we were about that same age when my dad was he was murdered. So, yeah, growing up,
Yeah, I feel that.
growing up, it was just
Different,
like, okay, there's a piece missing. You know what I'm saying? Trying to piece together different decisions on how to live life. You
right?
know, yeah, seeing how certain people doing it over here versus certain people doing it over here. It's like, okay, you keep going in and out. You keep doing this and you keep getting this result. I don't want to do what you're doing. What you doing? So yeah, let's
Right,
let's let's try it this way. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like so much stuff the world throw at you, man. You know, you can either be a how I put it. I talked to my sister about it last time. I was like, you can either be a victim or you could be a survivor.
Mm.
Yeah, it's all up here at the end of the day. This is
exactly.
where this is where you win it at right here. Your mindset,
Resilient.
how you go out every day. Yeah, life hit us pretty hard, but we ain't gotta let it be the end.
Right.
We can get back in that ring and swing back. And
Look, that's one chapter. It's not the next.
it's not the
That's not
end.
the whole book. Right.
Yeah, that's not how the story ends. So yeah, a lot of times, we would often, I often try to find ways to escape or, find ways to get through it, whether it's people or video games, food,
Right.
music, whatever it is, just trying to find a peace throughout the world and just try to keep on going, man. But at the end of the day, man, I tell anybody, you don't have to be a victim to life's hardships and pains and struggles, man. You don't have to be the victim. You could be the victor. You could be victorious.
Exactly.
You can overcome all these things. It's all up here at the end of the day. You got to win your battle.
Mindset.
Be determined to do something different. Be determined to leave your own legacy. Just because somebody before you might have made a few bad choices, you know what I'm saying? That's them. You don't have to learn from
Absolutely.
experience.
Right.
You don't got to learn from experience. They already experienced it. You watch and learn. You don't got to repeat it. Do something different. Do something different. They say it all the time. You do the same thing over and over, and you keep getting the same result. That's insanity.
Definition of insanity.
It's time to let a light bulb go off. Something. Snap out of it.
And bought sense is better than taught sense. Or taught
Woo!
sense is better than bought sense. But
Woo-hoo!
when you taught by somebody else, you watch them, that's a
Woo!
blueprint of what not to do. Unless you buy that lesson yourself and you had to actually.
Right. Wow. It's like you spot it, you got it.
Right. There it is.
Man,
Mm.
yeah,
Because
that's
that was
good
one of
right
the
there.
things I could share. I don't mean to cut you off, but when my uncles would talk to me, growing up with a single mother, daddy free at the time,
Mm-hmm.
they would tell me, man, you really don't know what kind of an influence you are to them. You may think it's nothing, but they watching you.
Mm-hmm.
And what you don't realize, the same thing you getting into, they see you getting into, they gonna want to try.
Yeah,
And they might not make it out or have the instinct or this or that, because folks praying over you as well.
right.
But who's to say they don't make, you'll have that on your hand because you didn't show them nothing different. And that just put me in a different mindset when
Yeah,
I looked at it from that angle.
yeah.
You really don't know the impact that you have. But if you think about it, as kids, if you have kids or you done been a kid yourself growing up, your whole deal is mimicking what you see, how to walk, how to talk, what to eat, how your hygiene, your mannerisms, all that is, you put your own spin to it, but it's a culmination of the people that you've been around all your life that you soaked up from.
Yep, yep. That's real. Yeah, that's like I got a cousin that says it all the time, man. Uh some people don't read the Bible. You might be the only Bible they
Bible, they
read. Yep. The
Yeah.
lifestyle that you live is what they'll go along with. That's you teaching them something.
exactly.
Yeah.
My pastor before he died, he said it's good to be a living testimony, but we ought to be living epistles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
could
This
elaborate
chapter, that
on
chapter.
that, SteZo.
I mean, 'cause a lot of folks will put it on for the garment of, people watching. But what about when people aren't watching?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like what you do in your silence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What you doing
Your day to
after?
day, right?
Yeah. 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 What you doing when people can't see you?
Right.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
there's someone who seeing you every time, even if you're
To see
sleeping,
everything, yeah.
and see everything. Nothing is hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Nah.
Yeah.
If you know all the hair on your head,
Yeah.
what does
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's no searching of his understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So
And he works in a mysterious way. Man, things I tell you what, things be happening to me that I wasn't even expected the way it happened, but it still give me the results I was hoping for. But my mind like couldn't even fathom how that happened,
Right.
you
Right.
know,
but it happened.
cuz it's like we humans our thought process or our consciousness is very limited
Mm-hmm.
and he's unlimited.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, man. That's real. For
Unlimited
sure.
and overflowing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
Ever I want to ask you since we in that on this subject, have you ever had that moment where like, this happened, I know you're watching over me.
Minimum.
Mm.
You got to look at when that happened with me and my cousin. At the time, I was on the road, right, and I would come back home like maybe like a month, 2 months, sometime at a time. All right, so when it got real thick, 'cause I could trust him to be at the house. I knew wasn't nobody gonna break in the house 'cause we stayed in a duplex. I stayed on one side, he stayed on the other.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I came home and all my heat was gone,
Mm.
this, that, and the third was gone,
Yeah.
and you just like, huh,
Yeah.
that. So before I had to get back on the road, I had to, report my stuff stolen, or else if something pop off with my pistol, then that's gonna be at me. So
Mm-hmm.
when I reported it, little did I know, well, I found out that he was still on the other side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
The police were already looking for him for, shooting this other cat, point blank. So when I walked back there, I was looking, at my stuff not in my house, and I had to just walk outside and get some air. Like, man, I cannot believe this, because we had actually had a meeting with him over to my auntie's before all this had, got this far. Because she
Mm-hmm.
told me to talk to her and come by her house before I went home, because she wanted to tell me, but she wouldn't tell me what it was. And then I know it was eating her because it's her son. You know what I mean? So she, I think I stayed there for like 2, 3 days. I'm like, ain't it? I'm ready to go home. What's going on? And she like, well, baby, your stuff ain't there, and your pistols are gone, and your shotgun, this and that. And I'm like, what? And in your mind, like, well, okay, who could do this? He stayed right next door. And then it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and then we actually had a sit down with him. His mom, God rest her soul. His dad, God rest his soul. And we all kind of had a powwow. And his own dad was like, man, this y'all cousin, y'all been knowing each other since 3 years old. This is ridiculous. That boy ain't none of them kids' daddy. And, just he
Yeah.
was opening up, you know. And it was like we had got a understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came home that night, I thought he was staying at a friend's house because, like I said, the police were already looking for him.
Yeah.
When I went back there and the dog we had was back there, the dog he had, a Rottweiler Buster. So when we walked back there, I'm, rubbing Buster like, man, this is just jacked up. And I just noticed that the air conditioner on. It was the dead heat of the summer. And I'm like, well, snap, he over there. Why would the air conditioner be on?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't know nothing about God, you got to know. He'll make a believe out of you. He'll catch you in stillness of the situation and assure you that he got it. 'Cause, man, I was thrown off because now I'm at a space where I don't have nothing to protect myself. I don't know what kind of mind state he in. I know we had a talk earlier,
Mm-hmm.
but this later on,
Yeah.
this 5, 6 hours later, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
I don't know what been doing in
Yeah.
between that time. So, and like I said, he was battling within himself. But
Mm-hmm.
still, he was still just like I said, all that happened with our cousin, this and that. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah.
So, and then I gotta go back in the house and wait for the police to come so I can report my gun stolen.
Mm-hmm.
And then well, ain't no they. One cop shows up, bro. One. This house has already been flagged. One cop shows up.
Wow.
So I was like, okay. And he's asking me, and it's almost like I could hear him like walking because the wall was thin. So it's something like I heard him walking, but I was just cool because the cop was asking, well, okay, do you know who did it? I was like, nah, I don't know. Man, I'm on the road. So I don't know when it's happened. All I just know when I come home, it's gone. And he just kept asking me questions like, well, how long, man, I've been gone since, you know, June. I just came back. It's July, or it's August rather. And I just got back and this how I found it. Did somebody stay on the other side? Like I think somebody used to stay there, but I don't think they stay there. Realizing he probably got my gun and his gun and several
Mm-hmm.
other assault rifles.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
cop left, I left. That's the night that I popped.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
And the cold thing about it, our partner was letting him stay with him while the law was looking for him at our spot.
Wow.
It's
That
Wow.
cold.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's formaldehyde. These illicit. That's what they put in dead, man. That them wet daddies. that is crashed
Mm-hmm.
out material.
Yeah.
And you take that with the pressures of life pushing you closer and closer to the edge, it's a matter of time before some unfortunate occurs. And it's sad to say that's what wound up happening.
Mm.
And I still
My.
love my cousin, but like I said, I know how far I go.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
that's a big lesson.
That's not to down him. That's just to bring light to some other young cat that might be out there that got a lot going for themselves, just like my cousin, man.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Just don't do it.
Do it. It ain't worth it, bro. It ain't worth when folks gotta come several counties. Cause at one point he was like Beeville, Texas. From
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, that's a nice stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get there, you know they gonna treat you just like them. Take off your shoes, your belt, your socks. You know, it's dehumanizing, but
Yeah,
you just don't realize it's man. And the more we was telling him to chill out and calm down, it was just like the more he would like try, he would hear it, don't get me wrong, but he would lean toward, okay, if you talking all this, why this happened to her? Okay, cuz I know, but they caught the people that did it, but that still didn't take away they really, they did her bad. I mean, but thanks be unto God, she's still alive. They
yeah,
did her and, horrible things, but thank God she's still
yeah,
very, very successful. Very, but I know that there's that part of her that's darkened. That light. You know, don't get me wrong. She's still, smiling this and that. But deep down, that's a part of her that'll never change because of that incident.
yeah, yeah, man. It's real. It's real out here.
Yeah. So to any young cat that think that's cool, and it don't just have to be that, man. You don't want your family looking at them bringing a box of stuff you done did. Okay, in '92 you had a pistol case. You got caught with this in '94. Okay, in '98 you wind up doing it. And they trying to paint you as a career criminal, even though them people know you as somebody that they love, that they care for. That I don't care what he got going. He ain't never did me nothing. He always looked out for everybody. Family and
Yeah,
everybody. So I mean, there's that side that
yeah.
people don't, and especially when you get in that courtroom, them folks ain't trying to hear none of that.
Mm-mm.
They ain't trying to hear none of that. All they saw at the end of the day, he talking about somebody sleeping with his girlfriend. He had two girlfriends. We thinking about the safety of the city of Dallas, and in other words, he a number just like the rest of.
Yeah.
They're not putting the value that he had in his kids, or the things that he did in life up to that point. It meant
Mm.
nothing. So don't let that be your story, because he already paying the price for it, and not to mention how it affected the family.
Yeah.
My auntie died wanting to see him a free man, but now she free. So,
Yeah.
but it definitely, man, you could, when that happened, my auntie was really just locked up in the house because she was very known in the city, and her phone was just blowing up. Cause you got friends you went to school with. Is that him? I saw him on the news. She just stopped answering the phone and everything, man. We had to really like just bond because it was just really the family, the nucleus, like you can't believe this happening, but this is a reality.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we really just trying to keep each other like supporting one another, keep each other from just like, man, I cannot believe this. Really?
Mm-hmm.
But you still gotta live life. You still got, it was hard to eat. It was hard to go about the day as the
Yeah.
Everything changes. Everything changes.
everything changes, bruh. Everything.
Mm.
And even though kids know he jammed up, they want to see their dad. They haven't thoroughly, they don't know what's going on really. All they know, their daddy gone. They want him back at the house. That's all they've ever known. So yeah, it cut deeper than most folk would ever think. So yeah, we got a lot more to live for than to, as he used to say, sell your soul for a jelly roll.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
right now, the one thing we used to always talk about that's like crazy, we would have partners that we knew that was out there hustling or this or that and wind up getting locked up. He's like, man, everybody in jail got an excuse. You got lawyers in jail. What's different? They still locked up. You know, and that's one of the things as young men we were sharpening one another, not to be that story,
Mm.
not to be that statistic, not to be,
You don't want to be in that number.
and that's
Yeah.
what we wind up having.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I actually had when I came off of the road, uh, I had three stops: Idaho, Utah, and Portland, Oregon. Had three stops. Well, this company thought so much of me. Instead of sending me on the interstate, I me going through Colorado. They sent me up Devil's Highway 6 in New Mexico, and it happened to be 8 inches of snow. I jackknife on the overpass,
Mm.
25 feet in the air.
What?
You want to tell me about if you think God is real?
Whoa.
What?
Stare at the bottom of a ravine because at one point, because I was trying to hurry up and make it because the snow was getting thicker, but
Right.
I was still getting traction on the snow with it being thick, so that was cool. But once I got on that overpass, that trailer started sliding.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be calm, like, because the procedure is you just counter steer, you know, turn in the opposite direction to make it straighten out. But the more I was turning right, the more I was sliding. I wasn't getting no grip, no traction. So now nothing but the concrete embankment and the ground beneath was and the passenger side hit the concrete barrier because if it would have been one of those little like the wood with the aluminum going across there, I'd have went over
Yeah. You know
Man.
how fast you were going?
what 10, 15 mile an hour. It
Dang. Yeah.
wasn't
That's not.
no 50 or nothing like that. I was already creeping like maybe 30, 40 in the snow, but like I said, I was getting traction. But once I got on that overpass, that's when I just really kind of let the engine pull itself. But I'm trying to keep it steady too, because you don't want to stop, because that will cause you to spin out. So you just want to keep slow and steady, going across there and make sure you steady enough for the tires to get traction and you keep it going. But once that weight I got on there good with the tractor. But once the weight of that trailer got on there, man say one of the eeriest things I ever seen in life is that trailer coming at me at full speed. And I mean it's slow, but it's happening real time, real fast. Like, and you trying to just like brace yourself, but you trying to like come out of it. Come on, let's come out of it. And when you see you just sliding to the other direction, so I'm actually finna meet the trailer. Passenger side hit the concrete barrier, trailer hit all of my CDs and maps and all that that's up in them carry spaces, all that just went brrr. But thank God it wasn't a scratch on.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
Not even a scratch on you. That's
Oh,
crazy.
that's God, bro. Talk about
Yeah.
mysterious ways, bruh.
Yeah.
That's God. That ain't no, you can't it wasn't my savage driving skills. It wasn't that
Yeah.
I wasn't even speeding. I mean, it wasn't that, and that's what the cop said when he pulled up, because he was like, okay, we definitely got to handle this business now. I'm glad that you're okay, but let's take a look at your logbook.
Man.
Now I'm gonna keep it 1,000 like public house. I was running because I was trying to get through that snowstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Since they didn't send me on the interstate that was salted and sanded, and they sent me through that snowstorm without change. So I was really trying to beat the storm, get to a major city. At least I could park there, and it's some people driving because I had a mindset and I should have just followed my mind and just went off the route. But then they got the fuel stops on the route, so you got to go to the fuel stop that they assign. So you really kind of,
Yeah.
had to stick with it. And when he stopped me and looked at my logbook, he just kind of looked at it. He was okay. It's very neat, but you actually is supposed to have been here at this time, so you like about 30 minutes off. But we're not gonna worry about that. You
Yeah.
made it out alive. You know what I'm saying? You made it out
Right.
alive, and we're gonna look at it like this. I'm actually supposed to write you a citation. I was like, okay, for what, man? Really kind of beyond my control. He was like, yes, it is, but state law said anytime you're behind this wheel, you always supposed to be in control of this vehicle. But I know that this is an act of God, and you really not supposed to be up here. I don't know why your company sent you this way, but okay. So we just go. And if they have any problem, gave me his card, have them to holler at me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, listen, this when he protects you, ain't nobody touching you.
That was a white dude. It wasn't no brother. Did I
Yeah.
just say that?
Man.
In New Price, Utah. Did I just say that?
Mhm.
Man.
Yeah. It's a sealed deal, bruh. It's a
Yeah.
sealed deal.
Yeah,
And
man.
that's what reassured me because my sister was I just found out my sister was pregnant with my nephew, and we had a falling out because I was like, man, you young, you just starting your life, and of course I
Mhm.
love, the fact that, but it just the situation how it came about, when she was heading in a good direction. But anyway,
Yeah.
all of that didn't mean a hill of beans when I was looking on the side of that bridge and that mountain.
Mm.
Did I just say
Mm.
that? And how far it go down and the cracks and crevices and the rocks and the hills in the back.
Ooh.
And you just stuck like, once that bad boy hit, it shook for a while, then everything just kind of got still, but you just looking like, oh wow, I'm alive. Oh wow, look how far down that is. Thank God I didn't
Man.
go over.
That's crazy.
Then had people pulling up on me like, it's the craziest thing, bro. Soon as I hit, I was really kind of out there by myself. Excuse me. Soon as I hit, here come Lottie Dottie and everybody, bro. Like, and now I'm blocking the whole. Can't nobody get past. We gotta wait on the tow truck and all this and that. So once they finally got me loose and out the way, it was people like, well, hey man, you need to go to the store, call your company, because I had sent them a message on the Qualcomm before everything had went off that
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had the accident. So after I got through dealing with the officer, guy took me to the store, let me, use the phone, this and that. Call them. Yeah, we saw the message, man. Is the load damaged?
He
Mm.
didn't ask you about you. Like, are
I
you
said,
okay?
Right.
yeah, I'm doing all right. He said, oh, no, man, I didn't mean it like that. I said, yeah, I think I know how you meant it, bruh. And once
Mm.
again, back to the original point we started on about letting them be the only plate you eating off of.
Mm.
They let me know right then, right there, you ain't nothing but a number. They worry about that product. What was they gonna tell my mama? What was they gonna say to any of my family members if something unfortunate happened to me? Well, and typically they gonna blame it on the driver. Well, and especially if the logs was like that. Well, yeah, well, that was him, and he wasn't supposed to be doing. Well, okay, you didn't even address the fact that you were trying to save on fuel, and you sent him down a highway that wasn't salted or sand.
Mm-hmm.
So show me how you really feel.
Man.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that, like I said, that let me further know. And I'm out here, it got to the point where sometimes we would call in because we didn't have the correct phone number for a shipper or what have you, or
Mm-hmm.
destination we supposed to make. These jokers ain't answering the phone. It's 5, 10 minutes till they finna get out.
Mm-hmm.
And you just finna catch the answer machine and pray somebody respond. This my life we talking about, Britt. I'm out here in the snow and y'all over there playing. And that's when I made my way back to the house.
Mm. That's crazy.
So yeah, those a couple of incidents where I
Right. One question
Mm.
about, and this is just this one to I just want to know. So for the truckers, how long are they able to drive on the road?
I want to say it's 10 hours from
No breaks.
for the most part. Yeah, you got to take breaks in between, of course. Like you do your inspection, you may stop for fuel, but you definitely got to do a pre-trip inspection and a post-trip inspection, and those are supposed to take up at least 15 minutes, which accounts for, let's say, minutes on the logbook. But now they got paperless logs, so it's I'm pretty sure they watch it in a whole nother scale now. But
Mm.
last time I checked, cause I got out of trucking in 19 right for my grantee pass, cause they were trying to get me to ride out, and I had already been over the so, and I knew I wasn't gonna be faced with nothing but that at any trucking company I went to. They weren't gonna care about your grantee on hospice care. They need these loads moved. So
Mm.
that's how I wound up where I'm at now.
Yeah. Damn. Okay.
So, because I was gonna make the same kind of living, but we're gonna make some necessary adjustments instead of me out
Mm.
here putting my life on the line, risking my license, risking my life. Because it's been times you done seen you to different neighborhoods, man. Say it's I know street element, and I know that I know when it's feeling itchy, like they want something, especially a trucker. What a load? What ain't got no lock on it? What?
Damn, they're
What's
trying to pull that Fast and Furious thing.
say,
Man.
man, you really got to be careful out there. So most of the time, from what I from the time I was driving, yeah, you're supposed to do 8 hours up to 10, and then you have to do a 7-day recap to recap your hours to be able to drive for the next following week if you're gonna
Yeah.
drive.
Man, how big is a gas tank?
What 150 gallons on each side, depending
Woo.
on how the truck is built, or
So how many miles you are able to drive without stopping?
you don't. Now I did it. Uh, Once again, it wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. But I was just up and I wasn't feeling sleepy and I just wanted to see how far I could go. And then I started kind of getting sleepy, but I was like, you know what? I need to at least get past these scales so that way I can get my logbook right. Because if I stay behind these scales and when I'm having to be open in the morning, that's going to be a nice hefty fine.
Mm,
Mm.
And it might shut you down for 10 hours,
mm.
depending
Mm.
on how your logbook looks. So I drove from Chicago, Illinois to Cheyenne. Well, you can look that up
Sheesh.
on your phone and see how far that is.
Yeah.
LA, look it up right now. I want to know now.
Man, that ain't down the street. I can tell you that.
It's not down the street around the corner, but it's a nice little stretch.
The Chicago to Wyoming.
Cause I had some family up that way, so I kind of stayed, hung out with them for a little bit.
Chicago
Well,
to
actually, I had some
Wyoming.
family in Milwaukee, and then I think my load picked up in Chicago, and then that's when I took it all.
Yeah.
And no stop. Just
No, I stopped like to, use the bathroom, stuff like that, but nah, no
no
stop.
filling up. Okay. No filling up the
Nah, I
tank.
filled up. Yeah, I filled up. Cause when I stopped to use the bathroom, filled up, gassed up and everything. But yeah,
Okay.
17 hours.
How many miles?
1,156 miles.
Dang, son. 17 hours.
17
yes,
hours.
sir.
That's like man. It's close to 24 hours.
Yeah, it
Whole
pretty much
day.
was. Cause like I said, I was actually coming from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Mm.
That's where I had my family. I had a load up there, and then like I said, the load that connected me to Chicago was from Milwaukee, and then from Chicago to
Right.
Sheesh.
Do they put like cameras in the truck?
now they do that. That then they didn't. Now they had like the Qualcomm, which had the little signal, kind of like GPS. Now you know how what you call them, put on these rides now, like they could find
All
Yeah.
Star?
That
Is that
GPS
the
system.
OnStar?
GPS,
Yeah.
OnStar, what have you. Yeah, tracking device.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the only thing would be like if you drove up under a tree, or some guys would get crafty and would take an empty chip bag, like the big grab, like the big chip bag,
Yeah.
and put it over, and it would scramble the.
Uh, they're trying to hack the system, bro.
If they didn't, I guess maybe if they done drove off riding, they weren't supposed to be somewhere,
Oh, so it
Cause a lot
tracked.
of time they trying, yeah, it tracked them. Cause they
Okay.
can look on, like we can look at text. They can look see where you at.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
if you got that little thing on your truck, well, you done wrapped around, you done parked up under a tree where you ain't, it's not getting a direct signal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you under the radar.
Okay. Man. Man, so have you seen like do you see like sights and stuff when you on the road just driving to states?
Man, I've seen Grand Canyon. Man, it's so many beautiful sights on. Sometimes just to ride on that whole West Coast
Mm.
on 5 to see that water just as far as the eye can see. Same thing on the East Coast. One of the flyest things I've seen in my life was a tunnel that went underground and come back up and go back up under the water and come back up, and then you can see them carrier ships out there for the Navy, and them out there doing maneuvers and whatnot. It goes from, is that Newport News into Delaware? I want to say it's Highway 10. Yeah, at that time it was $30 to cross that highway. I'm pretty sure it's probably 100 by now. But
Man,
that was in 2000, 2001. So I'm pretty sure it's up there now. But
yeah,
yeah, you can
Yeah.
look that up. It's a highway that goes up under the ocean and come back up, and you just see just, oh
wow,
man.
I didn't know that, bro. It's gonna give me
Now
anxiety.
say it flipped me out at first because when I first seen it, I was kind of scared and annoyed because I had never experienced that, and especially in that truck, we have a 13-foot 6-inch guideline that we have to buy. And you have to see that on the side of that bridge. You know how they have that 14.2 or this or that on it. You have to make sure it's over 13.6, or you need to stop before you tear something up.
right.
So I didn't see the sign because it was so dark. Because I think I was like road 10 or 12. So I had picked up and really was just kind of following,
Mm.
and it was detouring this way, and that's what the Qualcomm was saying this the route, because GPS hadn't fully came out yet, but it was like a little route director or what have you. When I first went in, the ceiling looked so close, it looked like I was clearing that bad boy by,
Mm,
and that's what had us just on. And then once I got to riding through it, and just like, okay, if it was gonna crush me, it's been done crush me. So I just kind of ride. And then when it came up out of the tunnel and looked around, it's just
Damn, you right in the middle. Damn.
water, just number water. And then it went back
Mm.
from 5, 10 miles, come back up. Then I had a low one time. I came through there in the daytime where you could actually see. Oh,
yeah,
ooh, that's you. Hey, if you ever want to know where the hands of the Lord have been, that's a nice place to look around. That's like Virginia Beach.
Okay. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, it's the bridge, the highway that goes.
Damn. Okay.
man.
And I wonder what that when you're looking it up, find out how much that toll is now. Because like I said, it was $30. Like from when I drove out on the road, that was from 98 to.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is gonna be expensive this time.
Yeah, it's
Yep. Yeah, they're charging $100 on tolls.
For sightseeing.
Not for real. I think that the money because they spent too much money building that tunnel going underground, like
yeah.
past
I know
the
it had to be a.
water, then come up, then go again. That's yeah.
Yeah, it comes up like 3 or 4 times. It's man, like I say, it's magnificent to ride on and just kind of.
Yeah.
This is some serious.
Yeah.
I don't know who thought this up, but they are bad.
Man,
Yeah. There are bridges that built. They're still standing. The architecture is just amazing. Have they ever sent
And
you
you got to
to
think
Canada?
water eats away everything. So I've been to Toronto, Mississauga, Ontario. I came through the New York side, through Niagara Falls, up there.
Mm.
came through Vermont, New Hampshire one time.
Yeah.
Now that's one of the coldest strip clubs I ever seen.
Yeah, what's that?
It's called Runway 66.
Mm.
It's in Canada?
Mm, It's in Canada, bruh. And when I tell you it's an old airport that they turned into a strip club. I had a load
I
up
gotta
there one
visit that,
time.
LA.
Yeah.
I was like, what, what's to do around here? Because it really wasn't nothing but like a truck stop and looked like a bunch of warehouses. I'm like, man, it's dead action over here. They ain't, only thing they got to eat is up in here. And yeah, it wasn't. He was like, nah, man, it's a little spot around the corner. It's walking distance. I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, man, it's a strip club. They do food and all that.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Drinks? Yeah, they got drinks. Okay. I walk around and, at first, you know how you think, man, this cat bug. Okay, I check it out and show. When I walked up in there first, let's let's say like a football field. All right,
Dang.
because you got to figure that this is an old
Right.
airport, so it's got a lot of
So they
space.
got the whole
Uh,
airport.
yeah, pretty much.
Damn.
This little spot has, let's say, from the goalpost to like the 40, it's a lane filled with poles
Mm.
going like in an S shape all the way to, and let's just say every 5 feet it's got a pole, and they come out and by like 20 or 30 of them, everybody grab pole. The first girl go all the way to the end and till all of them fill it up, and then they just give a show. Then they have a see-through shower upstairs where they just play with the water.
Mm.
What? And ladies nice too?
Man, I met a chick, French and Scandinavian, 5'11",
Mm.
very
Mm.
I gotta check it out.
French and Scandinavian.
Man.
That's
That's when I
yeah.
became international,
That's exotic. That's like that's right here.
dude. And was just cool. It wasn't no tripping. It was. I don't know if it was many other, brothers and but when nobody tripping, everybody was
Yeah.
having a good time, ate this and that, nice drinks, but it was something different. Like,
Mm.
and I don't, especially being on the road, been to. It was that was
Yeah. Okay.
especially with the upstairs shower and that just like
Yeah.
presidential. Like,
I never heard that
this
before.
ain't your regular hole in the wall. This ain't your little juke joint type. No, this is yeah, this top notching right here, bro.
Yeah. I never heard that before. They got a shower. The
Yeah,
water coming out. Was it like a
yeah.
fountain or something like that?
No, it was a real live shower, bro,
What?
and it was see through, so they would just get in there together and just play in the water.
Mm.
Okay.
Man.
And that they had a whole, whole other section up there where the shower was at, fanned out with tables and this and that, so you could either be downstairs or up, and you could see the show downstairs from upstairs
Mm.
or upstairs from down.
Yeah.
However you know what I'm saying, however you wanted it.
The
Yeah.
view.
It's all about the view.
So yeah, and I think that thing.
Okay,
So
I'm
yeah,
glad to hear.
yeah, I've been to Canada many times. Been to Mexico. Got my that's where I got my
You
Mm.
got what?
eel skin boots.
Okay.
Down 11 and all that. Now you got to have a passport to go over there. I went.
Also, before that was like free entry. You could just go in, come out.
Yeah,
Okay. I know Canada still
but
does it.
but you have to pay to come back from Canada. When I was, you go in, especially having loads. Okay, you go to the broker and you get your paperwork. 9 times out of 10, the company paid for it. But when you came back out of Canada, you had to pay them $5. And that was in 2000, 2001. I can just imagine what it is now. And especially after this created tariffs and all this and that. Oh, I'm pretty sure they said, well, yeah. Well, guess what?
You pay 150 bucks.
Well, we got something hot for that too. For them to go back home, yeah, it's gonna.
Yeah,
Mm.
Now that was an old
that's crazy.
$5. So yeah, I could just imagine where it's.
Mm.
Yeah, this is insane.
But now coming from Mexico, you didn't have to pay to get back in. You just
What about Alaska?
let them know.
Have you been to Alaska?
Hadn't been to Alaska. I've been to Hawaii.
Okay, how's Hawaii?
Hawaii is nice. Hawaii is very.
Yeah, no wonder they have all the vacation spots and all that over there.
Yeah, I actually have a cousin that's in the that he's retired military, but he still does like coaching volleyball games and stuff like that.
Mm.
So when I went out there, I wasn't in the tourist spots. I was in the spot though.
Yeah,
Cause a lot of them tourist spots, you don't, they gonna juice you because they already know you coming out. See the water and we were in downtown Honolulu,
yeah, you go
Yeah.
spend that. They
and
know,
oh man, they sticking it to you, bruh. You talking about 3 or 4 T-shirts for $54,
bruh.
bruh, and that's a value deal. Dude, but it's nice as well. Worth There's some good spots over there. You can we went to the Dole plantation where they make Dole pineapples and all that.
Mm,
Yeah.
Had a teriyaki burger with the pineapple on there, and had the pineapple sherbet and all that. It was
yeah,
it was tight right.
that sounds good. Yeah, pineapple is like they like to put pineapple in everything.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Went to Waikiki Beach and saw the hula girls. The only thing I didn't get to make a luau, but if I go again, I'm gonna see if
Yeah.
I can catch a luau.
Yo, Hawaii got some strip clubs.
Now didn't catch any out there. I don't. I'm pretty.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's good talk, man. Good talk. First, we
Oh yeah,
yeah we
most
learn we
definitely.
learned some lessons from wisdom, knowledge, and now this.
Yeah.
This is amazing. What about oh, you know what? What about North Dakota? I heard it's cold.
Yeah, very cold. Wish I could say more about it. It's very spacious, but it's just really open, flat land, kind of like Montana.
Mhm.
It's really not much to see. I mean, you look at the rolling hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cold will get you.
Oh, bro, it's bitterly.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
If you think that blizzard we had, even in Wyoming, there's a spot called the Medicine Bow. And when I tell you there's a constant 45-mile-an-hour wind that circulates through the mountains, just like in Chicago, they have a wind pocket right there off of those lakes. And sometimes it can get up to 60, 55
Mm.
to the point where dudes were telling me the back end of my tires was coming off the ground. My tandem wheels on the trailer were coming off the ground because I wasn't loaded yet.
Mm.
Matter of fact, that was that load I was picking up in Chicago. Yeah,
Man.
because I think I emptied out in Milwaukee, and I was riding over there to get my load from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And dude said, "Hey, are you loaded?" I said, "No, not yet. I'm on my way to it." Man, you better hear him get loaded, man. Your tandem's coming off.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a. And I knew he was not playing. I looked him up, and I just tried to hear him and get there as quickly and as safely as possible, and got loaded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't no joke. Yeah, that wind, bruh, especially at certain places within it get cold like that up in Washington. It gets bitterly cold.
Mm.
Uh, Portland, Oregon, get all that up.
yeah.
South Dakota, all that get
Yes.
bitterly cold.
So the cold we get over here in Texas ain't nothing.
Well, I can't really say that because now Amarillo gets very cold. They catch it before we do.
Mm.
Mm.
Like if it's a storm finna hit, a lot of times it'll hit Amarillo. If we about to catch a storm, they're a lot. Depending on the way the weather is blowing, but a lot of time it hit them first.
Mm.
it's colder because they in a higher altitude, so it's colder
Right.
up there.
What about, you know what I heard? The food changes. When you go up north, people put more sugar in their drinks. Is that true? It's more sweet.
I can't say that's been my experience, uh, but I know people do stuff different. Of course, Texas is known for the sweet tea,
Yeah.
and before I knew it was, not good if you're pre-diabetic. I would go out and search for it, and it would be hard to find it in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
Just we eat grits everywhere. What's that? And you
Mm-hmm.
like, you don't know what grits is? So you have to, okay, everybody's, everything is different. Everything ain't the same. And that's the spice of life. You don't want everything to be, oh, okay, same stuff we got at the house. But
Right.
there are some similarities in the way they do things. Like one time I went to South Carolina, I was homesick, man, and I looked off in that buffet and it had some black eyed peas, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, don't threaten me with a good time. And then when I tasted them and they were hidden, I was like, oh yeah, man, got a nice piece of cornbread and worked that thing.
Okay, I didn't know
But
South Carolina they got some good food too, huh?
yeah,
Okay, I never been.
I think you can find different. It's some good everywhere. Just finding it, you know. And like I said, this was back in 2001. I think people took a little more care of what they put out there versus what we got out.
Mm-hmm.
I think they put a little more effort behind it. But then at that time, people were actually getting paid somewhat of a decent. And I mean, people getting money now. Blessed to have something going for us. You get what you pay for. Did I just say that?
Yeah, that's true.
If you don't want to pay them, the quality of the food that they make for you goes down. Cause they pissed, cause they ain't getting treated right. They just trying to make a check now. It's no longer a career goal. I'm just trying to get to the other side of the week so I can pay this off.
Mm-hmm.
Or, if it wasn't for this, I would do. And that's when those thoughts should be circulating that you ought to pay attention to. Like, what else can I do to not make this my only way of getting revenue?
Yeah.
Because it will force you into a corner. If you got any kind of salt in you, any kind of fighter, don't nobody want to be without options. And that's what the key is. You got to keep your options open.
Mm-hmm.
True that.
Because when you start narrowing your options, you get handled.
Yeah.
Good talk. Good talk. But hey, SteZo, looks
Yes,
like
sir.
we hit the mark for tonight. But
For
it's
sure.
good talk, man.
Enjoy.
For
Yeah,
sure. I'm
man.
gonna we gonna invite you back.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah. But hey, so we have a thing before we leave. Everybody, we do our closing statements, advice, opinion, or
Okay.
something.
Closing statement, life advice. Do your best to make the best of it. Uh, and let God take care of the rest of it. Uh, love your family. Uh, make that time. I just had a recent death, and cold part is we didn't get to talk. She called and left a message, and that's the last message I heard her alive.
Man.
You don't want that to be. Of course, she stayed in California, and I'm here in Texas, but I mean, still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's still the kinfolk. That's still. I was calling her earlier, and I think she was on the phone. And then when she called back, she was in the hospital. So I guess she called from that number, and it registered private number, so I didn't answer.
Mm.
Love your family, love your folks. Spend as much quality time as you can, man, because you don't never know.
Yeah.
For real. LA, you got some?
I would just say focus. Focus. I say that with this, man. Just don't try not to make any fast decisions. Think about what you're doing before you do it. A lot of times, life happens and we move off emotions, man. Just think before you make decisions and put yourself into some stuff you can't get out of. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get in. It's easy to get into or to get out of. So yeah, just watch yourself. Watch yourself.
That's real. Before I go, I would say just don't make no decisions when you're mad or angry. It only leads to something not working out right. Uh, Stay positive. Build a new habit this week. I'm doing 250 push-ups. Start with
Mhm.
30. Let's see. Uh, but yeah, that's all. This is Mo with Mo Money Podcast. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.